Hi guys, it's Oracle 868 healing from the Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago. And today I have a pick a card tarot reading for you guys, and it's going to be about the new moon in Virgo, which is today, September the 6th, in our time, Trinidadian time. And I'm just going to give you guys an idea of what you can expect this lunar cycle to be based on, like what's going to be the strongest energy that's coming up for you this new moon cycle, how you can make the most of it, what it will lead to, what will be the most positive outcome, and then as well what you will need to let go and what you should release by the time of the next lunar cycle. Right, so I have 4 piles and you're gonna pick from 4 stones. Right, so let me just show you guys the options, and once you pick your pile you can just skip to that portion of the video. Okay guys, so these are your 4 crystals to choose from: pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. So for pile number 1 we have this beautiful Botswana agate. I kind of love it because it looks like a river rock, like it's just something that it looks like you'd pick up in the river. And I love this pattern within it, like a little eye. It really sends me into a meditative frame of mind, and I just think it's really gorgeous and earthy. So that's the first option. Second option is this beautiful citrine tumblestone. They're all tumblestones, but this one is a lot paler than most citrine stones, kind of elongated too, but yeah, it's a beautiful stone. So if you like this one, it's pile number 2. The third pile is this gorgeous red carnelian. It's supposed to be reddish, but this one ended up being more orange than the typical red carnelians. And I love this one because it looks like some kind of weird dinosaur egg, you know, something you'd find in like prehistoric times. Super cute. That's pile number 3. And then last but not least, pile number 4 is this beautiful, I think it's called gold dust moonstone. I can't remember the name of it right now, I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's basically, this is one of the very few man-made stones. This one is copper blown into glass, so all these pieces here that you see shimmering is actually copper that's been put into glass, and it shines like that, like a little galaxy. I love this stone. Right, so if you like that stone, that's pile number 4, and you can choose from any of these and skip to that part of the video. Hey pile number 1, if you chose the Botswana agate, this is your reading. Okay, so we're gonna find out what is coming for you in this new moon cycle. It most likely will be something that you have already been kind of focusing on, but this will just give you a little idea on how to expand on that, how to make the most of that, what is the most likely outcome, and what you might need to reconsider or let go of in order to move forward to the next level. Right, so calling out to the guides and angels for pile number 1. This is their new moon in Virgo reading. Pile number 1. I'm using the Shadowscapes Tarot, by the way. Yeah, it's one of my favorite decks, honestly. I did an unboxing for it. You can check that video out. But I might have to actually do a whole review because there's just so much about it that I love that I really want to talk about. Right, so let's see what's in store for pile number 1. Right, so we have the Emperor. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Page of Swords. We also have the 9 of Pentacles. And then we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, bottom deck energy is the 3 of Pentacles. Right, so pile number 1, I already see based off of your cards that you got that a big part of this journey this month is going to be about teamwork, learning how to work with others. right? Because we have the Emperor as the first card. So this new moon cycle, you are really focused on creating structure in your life and also trying to work on bettering your finances and just mastering some elements of yourself that you have been working on for probably up since last new moon in Virgo. Right? With the Emperor, I'm getting lots of Aries energy, but some Taurus energy as well. So you might be Aries or Taurus. I see that you are definitely trying to create some kind of structure in your life, like I said before. And with the Ten of Wands, it suggests that if you want to get to where you're trying to go with the Emperor, if you want to experience this power, this stability, and this authority, you need to put in the work with the Ten of Wands. So I see that this pile particularly is working on something very big. This is something that might influence or impact other people's lives, or this is something that might have the ability to add quality to other people's lives. So I feel like pile number one, y'all are helpers and y'all are like, I wouldn't say philanthropist, but I'm definitely getting an Aquarius energy that whatever idea it is that you're working on, it's something that you want to do to benefit not just yourself but others as well. And that's a big task to take on with the Ten of Wands. But as you can see, this woman is carrying an entire city on her back. So it's about being that foundation and leading by example. This new moon in Virgo, I feel like you are kind of in a role model zone right now where a lot of people are looking up to you and a lot of people are kind of maybe even counting on you for some kind of financial help or some kind of business help or something like that, right? So if you want this moon cycle to go smoothly, you cannot take days off. And I know that's not something that we promote, especially with self-care and stuff like that, but I feel like you are very much on the verge of doing something very big, and slowing down right now is not necessarily going to give you the results that you're looking for. I think you kind of have to use the people that are counting on you as motivation to push harder and to keep going forward, because with the Ten of Wands, it lets me that it's something really big that you're working on, something that's kind of like the culmination of all your creativity and all your planning that you've been doing for the past few months. This is a big, big project that you're working on. And there is a great chance of success if you just power through and don't get lazy. With the Page of Swords coming up as the highest possible outcome for the situation, this is what you're supposed to be experiencing by the new moon. So I see by the time of the new moon, you should be able to. I see by the time of the new moon, you will be getting a lot of calls from people, right? There's going to be a lot of incoming messages, a lot of people wanting to work with you and network with you. You might even be able to create a new circle of people who can be your friends, your mentors, your business partners, anything like that. I see that there is definitely a group around you or that will come towards you that's going to give you that extra push or just help you to find the resources that you need in order to move forward. Okay, I also see that it's going to be really important for you to keep up your social media presence. If there's a business that you're doing, or if you have a talent or a hobby that you're working on, posting as much content as you can on your social media is going to be a big help this lunar cycle. Okay, and you don't want to miss out any opportunities on being seen. I think that in your journey towards realizing this project, there's also going to be a fresh new idea that comes in that's going to help you to take your business or your idea, your brand to the next level. Right, then we have as what you should be releasing as the Nine of Pentacles, which is a little harder to understand in the sense that Nine of Pentacles is usually a very positive card. So if it's coming up as something that you need to release, it could just mean, especially with the Three of Pentacles as your bottom deck energy, it could be that you just need to learn to work with others. Like this idea that I'm going to have to do it all on my own and get it all on my own is probably not very conducive to what you are trying to do. What you are trying to do requires people, it requires a system, it requires a network. And I'm seeing that a lot of you could be musicians, so some of you might be trying to put together a band or trying to do something that will need a lot of creatives. Like if you were thinking of doing a show and you wanted to just be the star, the director, the producer, everything, it's not going to work out like that. You're going to need to get other people in on this for this project to really be successful. So this idea of like, live alone, die alone, can't trust anybody but myself, that attitude might need to just be on pause for a little bit, because this is a period of time right now where you are going to be needing some kind of guidance or some kind of assistance in completing this project that you want to do, right? And then we have what should be out of your life completely by the end of the lunar cycle is the Seven of Wands. So yeah, this kind of like is a fight down energy. This card, especially in this deck, does give me a real fight down energy. And it could be that sometimes you are your worst enemy in terms of dealing with people. With the Page of Swords coming up at the top as what is the best possible outcome, it's saying that you need to be a lot more social and a lot more diplomatic when you're socializing. With the Emperor, this being what is your main focus this month and what you're working towards, it does suggest that you may have problems accepting advice from others. You may have problems following necessary steps that are needed for things to go a certain way. And your I don't want to say a lack of tact, because you could be very tactful, but it could just be that once you get an idea in your head, you don't want anybody else's input. And I see that coming up as a blockage. I see you being defensive, or you being very secretive, or very, to yourself about what you've been working on is actually stopping the project from going further. It's stopping it from being able to expand to the level that it should be expanding. And you definitely have to let go of this mentality that you can't trust anybody, because I feel like there's a big vibe here about trust and about burden and responsibility. So I feel like you're the type of person that thinks that everything is all on you and everybody's going to suffer if you don't handle everything, and you are not the one that's taking care of everything and everybody, and that's not the case. This spread is telling me that this new moon in Virgo is going to be teaching you about asking for help. Okay, because when we think of the Virgo archetype, it represents the provider, the mother, the harvester, someone who does the work and then is able to reap the benefits of it. And I think that's why Virgos sometimes get stereotyped as being like these super giving, super caring people, but in reality, Virgos, that knack they have for being resourceful, efficient, and being successful, they usually only use it towards their own personal gain. So with the Emperor coming up, it could be that that's the thought process, or like that's where your mind is right now, that everything is all on you and you're doing this all for you, when in reality I feel like there's a lot of people that are kind of looking up at you or counting on you, and they want you to be successful. They're not trying to come into your life and do anything negative. Like I'm not seeing any warnings about there's people that don't have your best interest at heart. I'm seeing that a lot of people want to support you, and because you have a mindset that, oh well, I've had to get everything on my own and I don't need anybody, it's kind of getting in the way of other people breaking through to you and helping you out in the way that you need it. Alright, so let's pull some oracle cards and find out more about this new moon cycle for you guys. I'm about to use the Fairy Oracle deck. Right, so guys, give us some messages, some advice for pile number 1 for this new moon in Virgo. Pile number 1, new moon in Virgo. Okay, so we have wait for winter. During the colder months, the Fairy Queen of Winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. So there's that. Then also we have stargazing. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Right? So what I'm getting from these two oracle cards is that you need to set your sights really high. There's, for you, it's like the sky's the limit, right? And there's a lot of success to be had if you really envision yourself being successful. The wait for winter, I mean, winter's in December. For those of you that live in countries that have winter, it starts in December, so that's only what, 2 or 3 months away. So in about the next 2 to 3 months, this that you've been working on, once you put in the work in this new moon cycle, you are almost guaranteed to be successful. And with the stargazing, it lets me know that it might be way beyond what you even imagined or what you even dreamed. Like the success that you can have would be shocking and surprising to you. Okay, so let's get some angel messages as well. All right, angels, thank you for giving us your guidance. This is the angel guide oracle. Thank you for giving us your guidance. Can we get 2 cards for pile number 1? What are your messages for pile number 1? So this is what your guys want to tell you about this new moon in Virgo season. Alright. Let's see. Ask and receive. Sacred plan. And do the work. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Do the work, yeah. Yeah. So I feel like, based on what I'm seeing, is that you've come up against some obstacles working on this project that you've been working on. Cut the cords is the bottom deck energy. Sorry, I didn't give you the bottom deck for this one. Magical blessings is the bottom deck energy from the fairy oracle, and then cut the cord is the energy, bottom deck energy from the angel. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling a lot, honestly, guys. It's kind of nerve-wracking to be doing this video, but I'm gonna post it anyways. I say whatever, fuck that, you know. I'm gonna do it, right? So with do the work, it solidifies, it clarifies what I've been saying this entire time, is that you really need to push yourself because you're really on the brink of doing something great, but you have to keep pushing yourself. And I just get the vibe that, like I was saying before, that you've been held back for a little while. Things haven't been working out and the plan hasn't been executed exactly as you imagine it would be. Okay, but that's okay, because with a little patience and with keeping the faith, keeping the hope, stargazing, by believing that you can achieve your dreams, you are going to get everything that you wanted, and with the page of swords coming in as the highest possible outcome, which I think is great, is that you're not only going to get what you wanted out of this project, but it's going to bring another idea that's going to take you to another level. And it's like this, the thing that you're doing is going to continue opening doors for you. With the ask and receive again, I think definitely it might have been that your faith in the plan wavered a little bit, but also I think too that this is talking about that whole like teamwork ethic that I was trying to talk about earlier, is that sometimes you just need to ask for help. If you ask for help, you'll get the help that you need. So if a lot of things have been kind of stagnant because you're just not breaking through in the areas of your life that you need to, the ask and receive suggests that you just need to ask someone for help. Or you could even ask your angels and your guides for help, to show you a sign, show you the path. I think that you rely heavily on yourself. You're a very strong person, and that's why you got the Emperor, because you're coming in as this very strong, dominant, determined energy. And sometimes that is to your detriment because you don't get the help that you need, right? And with the sacred plan, this is just confirmation that everything is going exactly as it should. So please do not worry, do not fret. This new moon in Virgo is going to be so wonderful for you, because I think you're going to really see that you have a support system and that there are people that you can count on, in times of need. So we're just gonna get one more card. This is going to let you know what the general energy is, what you should focus on, meditate on throughout this new moon cycle. It's kind of like a keyword to keep in mind as you're operating throughout this lunar cycle. So let's see what the cards have for you. Okay, so two fall out, but I'm not gonna take it because that's not how I do things. Right, so let's see what is the overall theme of your new moon in Virgo vibe. Okay, we have throat chakra, right, and that's coming in, and I'm putting it right by the Page of Swords, and bottom deck energy, soul time. Can you see that? Yeah, soul time. Right, so third chakra coming in again with the ask and receive, and the Page of Swords is really letting me know that there is an entire network of people that are waiting to help you. If you just open up, socialize, do the work, you are going to meet those people that are going to help you and your project catapult into the next level. Okay, also third chakra talks about speaking your truth, and expressing yourself. So for those of you that are creators or that are online personalities, maybe, or maybe you just do like marketing or sales or that kind of stuff, you can really benefit from just being more interactive with people and showing them your true self. Like with the Emperor, there is this idea of this stern attitude that people don't get to see the real you, and maybe that is a blockage from people wanting to buy your product or invest in your project or anything like that. If you show people that you are human too, and that you have a personality, and that you go through things just like them, and you think critically, if you really open up and show people another side of yourself, you'd be surprised at how much people would be willing to come into your life and give you help and support. So pile number one, I hope that this was helpful for you. Any major signs that I can point out is could be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Those are the signs that I'm mainly seeing that might have a big impact on you this lunar cycle, right? And there might be a message coming in from an air sign as well, but I think it's definitely pertaining towards what you are doing. You're going to get some good advice or some good guidance, and with Sacred Plan you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So even if the situation is stressful and you do feel like things haven't been working out, you are being led to the exact place that you need to be right now. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like and subscribe if you do, right? And I'll see you around for the next new moon. Okay, bye. Hi group number 2, this is your crystal. It's citrine. So if you chose the citrine tumbled crystal, this is your tarot reading. So we are going to be doing your new moon and Virgo reading. It's going to explain what your prime focus is going to be this lunar cycle, how to make the best out of that, what will be the highest possible outcome of that situation, and what you should release and have already let go by the time of the next new moon, right? We'll also get some advice from your guides, and we'll also get an idea of what's the overall theme of this lunar cycle for you, specifically pile number 2, right? So we're calling on the guides and the angels and the ancestors of all the people watching pile number 2. Calling on the guides, the angels and the ancestors of those watching from pile number 2. Alright. Okay. Alright, so let's get to it. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, this came in for pile number 1 too, so it might be connected. If you were attracted to pile number 1 as well, you might want to watch that. Then we have the 3 of Wands. We have the High Priestess. Then we have Judgment. And lastly, we have Justice. So we have 3 major arcana coming in here and a 10 as well. So this new moon in Virgo is big energy for you guys. Big energy for you guys. Bottom deck energy is the Page of Swords. Yeah, so definitely if you watched this one, you might want to watch number 1 as well. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so firstly, pile number 2, I feel like there is an important female presence in your life this new moon in Virgo. I definitely see that somebody has a big impact on you. It could be you, but I do see a separate female entity outside of yourself that is going to play a big role in this lunar cycle for you. But coming in with the beginning of the new moon, we have the 10 of Wands, which suggests that you're already kind of tired. So this lunar cycle, you might feel very tired. You might feel very much unable to accomplish a lot of the things that you want to accomplish. You might feel like you aren't getting anywhere with certain things that you're working on, and I just feel like there's just this general lethargy that you are struggling with going into this Virgo lunar cycle. And it could be because Virgo being the sign of health, it might be a sign that you're not really taking care of your body. There's a lot of heavy lifting or just a lot of strain on you, and it could be mental, physical, or emotional strain. I feel like you're pretty much tired right now, and you're not really feeling this renewed energy that is supposed to be coming in with the new moon today, and that's unfortunate. But I see that with the 3 of Wands, that if you set your sights high and you try to stay positive about what you have going on in your life, that things won't take such a bad toll on you, right? But I do see for some of you as well that taking a trip is going to be a big help in your situation. A lot of you, the big burden is at home. There's just too much drama or maybe too much negative emotions associated with your home life right now, and I'm seeing that with new moon and Virgo, you might really need to take a break from the home setting, not to like leave behind your family, but like, try to get out of the home setting and set your sights on places that are going to bring back a certain amount of joy and happiness and excitement into your life, because I really do see you struggling with things to do with the home. And I see that at this point you're kind of ready to pack your bags and leave. So for some of you, this situation is you parting from, it could be from a spouse or someone that you were like in a common law relationship with, or even just from a family member like a mother or father or a sibling who's just very toxic, and you can't really share that space with them anymore. I'm getting that strong vibe now that I'm feeling it. With the Page of Swords being the bottom deck energy too, I think like a lot of it is steered towards, it stems from this person having a very sharp tongue, like they're a pretty verbally abusive person. So I'm sorry to trigger anybody that's watching this pile and is going through this right now, but I do feel like this person triggers you with their words and they say very hurtful things, and I think that it plays on your mind a lot, and you've kind of been like grappling with how to overcome the situation. I feel like with the 10 of Wands, you keep telling yourself, oh, it's just me, if I'm a little more like this, if I'm a little more like that, maybe this person won't abuse me, they won't like make me feel so bad, but I see with the 3 of Wands that the best bet for you this lunar cycle is to get out there, is to explore life on your own terms, And I think that you just have to get a sense of adventure, because some of you might just feel very tied to your home life, or maybe you're not comfortable stepping out really. And I know with the pandemic and things that are going on, people don't really have that option of being able to go everywhere and anywhere unless you're vaccinated. So you do what's best for you in the safest way possible, but I do definitely suggest that you take a trip, you go out somewhere, like you enjoy life. I don't know, like I'm just feeling like there's a lot of, I can't get past these two cards because I feel like they're telling me so much already. With the Three of Wands, the way this looks, I feel like this person buried three important things. Is it three? It could be three or two. Yeah, like the how she's standing up with these sticks up in the air, they kind of remind me of like those movies where like in like the medieval times when they would bury their dead, and they would just stick something in the air so that you knew that that was the grave. Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of things that you want to leave behind. I feel like there's a lot of things that you have put to rest. um I think that there are, you stick around in this home environment um, because of memories that are very very old, like they're no longer resonant with you really, but you tell yourself, oh well, there were good times, there was this opportunity, there was that going on. And now it's kind of time to just put those things to rest, like okay, yeah, you had a okay time, cool, put that to rest now and realize that it's time to step out. It's time to expand. 3 is a number of expansion, 10 being a number of completion. I feel like whatever karmic lessons you had to learn about while you were in this environment, it's been learned. It's been learned. So, time for you to step forward and move on. And what that does is bring you into this high priestess energy, this beautiful energy, the owl representing wisdom, flight, freedom. Look at her. This is one of the very few high priestesses I feel. I'm sorry if it's not focusing. If it's not focusing, but that's the best I could do. The high priestess, this is one of the freest ones I've ever seen, because in a lot of the other decks she's seated, kind of looks very stiff and upright. This one she's free, and I think it's because it's the freedom that comes from trusting yourself, from believing in your own intuition and making choices based on that. Because in this deck particularly, this card for some reason really reminds me of the Two of Swords, with like the two branches going in separate ways. It really reminds me of Two of Swords. So when I see this card, I feel like when it comes up is that you are afraid to use your intuition to make a choice, right? Because it just seems, the intuition, what your intuition is telling you, seems really far-fetched from your reality, and you're trying to think logically or maybe even emotionally, but your intuition is what's going to save you in this situation. You need to be free. You need to be free. Like, look at her, she's free as a bird, you know, cloaked with the sun and the moon, and she's just very very radiant. And with the, I guess, the pomegranate and the owl as well, it lets me know that this is someone who's very wise, and they've been through some things, and even though the things might have been negative or they might have been difficult, they were definitely like little seeds of wisdom, you know, little, like, you know, fruits of wisdom that they can now use to replenish themselves. So, you know, if you have been like denying your intuition or denying what you know about your situation, it's time to break free and just make the best decision for yourself. I see that this Virgo energy, the what you'll be picking up on, or what you will be receiving from the Virgo energy, is learning to choose yourself first, because that's very important. Virgo is about self-sufficiency, so learning to choose yourself first and learning to make the best choices for you is going to be very very important in this Virgo season. And you have to use your intuition to guide you. Okay, I just see that you really step into yourself by the time of the full moon. If you take a chance and you separate yourself from this negative, very depressing energy, and it might not be in the home, it could be at a workplace or just like a place that you frequent a lot, but there's this idea of you are like, it's a place where you are very connected to the people that are there, and you all network, you all, like, you know, maybe share space or share ideas or spend a lot of time together just recreationally, and it's maybe starting to bring you down a bit because of the type of characters that are there. Or it might be that you are the only one that spends money there, or you're the only one that cleans things they place up, like it just feels like there's a lot of burden on you and what you have to do, and you're not getting enough from the situation, and you're kind of holding on to it because it used to be good, but it's time to free yourself. And that's why we have the judgment coming up. So what you need to release this lunar cycle is literally release. Like what you need to release is release. Like you need to actually let the release happen, right? The judgment card talks about rebirth, like a lot of the other major arcana cards, but it's um it's similar to that part of the Bible story where Jesus is in the tomb and then he's resurrected again, and he becomes ascended. So it's very similar to that, where it's like you were kind of like in this bleak situation of just like being underappreciated, overworked, or just not having your needs met. Or I'm also getting the vibe that it could have been this is the result of a decision you made when you were very young. So it could have been that maybe you were married at a young age, you had a child at a young age, or you got into some bad like cruise at a young age, and now you're really seeing like the full impact of those choices you made where you were maybe like 10 years younger. Let's go with that, like 10 years younger. It's like maybe 10 years ago, this is when this cycle started, and you're really now starting to see the impact of it. So it's like let things go, learn to release, because the rebirth is waiting to happen. The butterflies, you see that symbolizing change, and the poppies, all of that is like, softening the blow, right? So I get the idea that the universe really wants to help you, and they want to do it in such a calming and loving way. Like I really get the idea that your guides want to be so calm and gentle and kind with you, and they're just saying to me right now that if you take the chance, if you take the leap, they are definitely going to help you. They are going to make this transition so beautiful and graceful and easy. You'd be surprised. Like you wouldn't believe it. It was so easy to get out of this negative situation that you were in before, right? And by the time the new lunar cycle starts, you should already be at this state of justice, being balanced and taking what you deserve, and not letting anybody take more out of you than they are giving to you, right? So I definitely get the idea that you are overworked in a relationship or in an environment. People are just taking from you and they're not giving back, and you need to spread your wings and shine your light somewhere else, because these people do not appreciate you. And I feel like there's a chance that you guys go tit for tat, in the sense that um they'll this person looks at everything that you do, and it's never enough for them. But if you were to really like start to calculate what they've done for you, it's you can't compare it. Like you put your all into it, and this person or these people, they don't give you anything, right? That's the vibe that I'm getting from that. So let's get some advice from the fairy oracle deck, right? But I definitely see that by the end of the cycle, you should be in a state of balance and harmony, and you should only be letting people into your life who have like pure intentions, like they come with a pure heart, especially with the scale that I'm seeing my art in this last card. It's like there needs to be some discernment, right? You need to really pay attention to who's in your life and if they're benefiting you, if they're really bringing good energy or not, right? So the first bit of advice we have is abundance. Right, so that's not advice, it's more of a promise. It says, prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and human land, there's enough abundance for everyone. Right, so maybe it is that you are financially tied to this person, so it could even be a business partner as well, and you're wondering, well, if I break away from them, how will I live? Like, how will I have a living? And this is telling you that if you separate from them, you're going to get so much more in your life, you wouldn't even believe it, right? And then we also have solitude. Guys, what did I say? Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. Right. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely, there needs to be a separation from this group or from this people, or even if it's from a place, because sometimes spirits and energies dwell in places. So if you find like this place that you're staying in, it doesn't feel comfortable anymore, it might be time to move, Okay. um you might be thinking, oh well, the benefits, the amenities of like the area, like how will I find another place like this? Time to press. Sorry, I thought somebody was coming up my stairs. That was scary. Yeah, because I was just talking about like your home has spirits. I just heard like footsteps just so, but it wasn't what I thought it was. Right, inspiration is at the bottom of the deck. It says, be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call anytime. And I like that because it reminds me of the bottom deck energy of the Page of Swords, because it's very similar color schemes with the purple, right? So there could be some like crown chakra, third eye chakra work that needs to be done, in the sense that maybe you're just not connecting to your guides and they're trying to speak to you very clearly about the situation, and you feel like, oh, there's no guidance, there's no one helping me, but you're just not aware because you're not open to their messages, to their frequency. You know, a little meditation might help, right? And that's where the solitude comes in too, because I feel like you're at a point, the high priestess really gives me a two of swords energy in this deck, where it feels like you're at a crossroads where you need to make a choice. And to make this choice, you need a little solitude. You need some time to reflect and to understand where you're going, what you want out of the situation, what you're looking forward to in the future. Right? So let's see what you guys have to say to you. Right, nothing is wrong with a little solitude. I'm seeing with the Justice card that it's like better to be by yourself, and you know, you get to control the energy around you when you surround yourself with people who kind of put you in tough situations, or always leave you feeling like, you know, you're just not taken care of, or like they're just not meeting your needs, whatever those may be. Right, so let's get our advice from the angel guides. We have clear, cancel, and release. Right? Beautiful. Wonderful. We have clear, cancel, and release. Yeah, so learning to let things go, leave things in the past, move on from situations is going to be super important for you. We have angelic protection. That's what I'm saying, and I think with this card coming up too, it does scream to me that some people are in abusive situations, but obviously take what resonates. But it's just kind of like, you know, if it's getting physical or if it's getting scary, you have angelic protection and you just need to liberate yourself. Try your best, you know, to really wake up and get out of the situation. The Three of Wands suggests that you need to start searching for more. You need to start expecting more, like with the abundance card. You start expecting more out of your life, like more is coming, you know. Open your eyes to it, start to, you know, yearn for it, and it's going to come. Don't stay complacent in the situation. And then again, we have sacred plan. So I feel like maybe this pile might be connected to pile number 2, pile number 1, but the advice, the reading for pile number 1 was very different. So it might just be two aspects of your life to consider. But with sacred plan, we have with sacred plan, it definitely lets me know that again, you are protected and you're being guided, and that if you are being called to something else, that is your angel showing you the path of where you need to go. And then we have signs and reminders at the bottom, as the bottom deck energy. So yeah, your guides, and again, we have this beautiful purple color kind of in a lot of the cards, even in Sacred Plan. I just get this sense that there's definitely guides trying to reach out to you right now. You need to open your mind. Even if you're not the meditative type, you definitely need to become more conscious of what is happening around you on a spiritual level. Right? So let's get one more card from the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck. And this will let you know what is your overall energy coming in this new moon and Virgo cycle. Okay, but for this pile, I really like, my heart is just in this reading for sure, and I feel like I really need you guys to be free, to get free, to release yourself, to trust your intuition, and to let go of things that are hurting you or just no longer serve you. Please. Okay, you shouldn't be coming back to the next new moon reading and getting the same advice. Okay, well, let me be fair, because honestly, a lot of things are like habits and patterns are hard to overcome. So things take time, and sometimes we backtrack on things, and that's okay. But if you recognize that there's something that you need to be working on or moving towards, do it. Right? We have the final card, which is compassion. Okay, which is unexpected, but it supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. Okay, so this is not what I was expecting with this reading, but I think what it's saying is that you have to have compassion for yourself. I feel like maybe you're just the type of people please, and you're always worried about what other people will think, what other people need, and now it's time to be compassionate towards yourself. The number 15 might mean something to you, the number 6 might also mean something to you as well, right? But I definitely see that you need to be more loving to yourself this business season. Bottom deck energy is romantic love. Okay, so sorry, I burped a little bit there. I feel like this could be confirmation for some of you that this is based on a romantic connection. That's the underlying energy. Like, this situation, this relationship is going to really kind of like gnaw at you. Like, it's just going to be ticking at the back of your head, like something is up. I need to be more compassionate towards myself. I'm giving this person my all. I need to reassess their place in my life, right? And then for others of you, it could be that when you step out of this toxic environment, because it's not coming through, besides that card, it's not coming through as necessarily a romantic partnership. It's just that an environment where you're connected to a lot of people, and a lot of people know you, or like they have an input or a say, or they ask plenty of you in your life. That particular environment, you need to separate from it, and the compassion that you give to others, you need to give to yourself. And when you step away from this environment, if romantic love is something that you have been hoping for, it's going to come in when you leave this environment behind, right? So fingers crossed. That's what I have for you, pile number 2. I'm wishing you the best, love and light. Enjoy your lunar cycle, and happy new moon. Hi, if you picked the red carnelian that looks very orange, you are pile number 3, and this is your stone, so this is your reading. Thank you for joining me. Right, so what this is going to be like, it's going to be a new moon reading, so it's going to explain the energy that you're stepping into this lunar cycle with, how to use that best to your advantage, what will be the highest possible outcome of that, and what you should be releasing and letting go of by the time the new lunar cycle starts, right? We'll also be giving information, guidance, and some kind of like actions to take from the oracle deck. So they will give you your advice and what guidance to take, what step to take, and stuff like that. So calling out to the guides, the angels and the ancestors of pile number 3. Guides, angels and ancestors of pile number 3, help us to understand what will come to them in this lunar cycle. Pile number 3. Okay. Wow. Alright. So we have the 3 of Swords coming in as the energy. We have the 9 of Wands coming in as your waxing energy. Full moon energy is strength. Waning energy is temperance. And the balsamic, the last phase before the new moon, is the judgment. Right? Sorry if it's not focusing. Bottom deck energy is the Knight of is the Knight of Pentacles. That's the bottom deck energy. So I already off the bat understand that this lunar cycle heartache is going to be on the forefront of your mind, but the coins is where you should really be putting your attention. I think that's something disruptive. I feel like something disruptive is about to happen. There might be some loss, there might be some sadness, and what will really pull you out of it is achieving your goals, being successful, which might not be the normal thing people will tell you, but achieving your goals is gonna really help you this new moon of Virgo, or like focusing on what your goals are and not on this heartache, because we have Three of Swords as your new moon energy. Is pretty harsh. It's kind of tough, but what it tells me is that you might be fresh out of a breakup, pile number three, or you might have just been very hurt or betrayed by someone that you love dearly. I see you're very wounded in the situation, and you kind of felt like you put your heart out there for people or for someone, and they gave you nothing in return. They give you pain. This could be like a third party situation. I feel like it could have been you were the outside person, and you were hoping that your time would come and it just never did. Or it could be that you were very faithful to someone that you loved very much, only to find out that they were seeing someone else, right? So that's pretty unfortunate, but I get the idea that you really put your all into the situation, and you really try to come from a pure and honest place. I feel like you wanted what was best for this person, and you really wanted to, like, really love and be loved in the situation. And either you have already experienced the heartache, you've already been given the bad news. If not, I don't want to make you scared or, like, paranoid. But if something comes up that is suspicious, I could say very clearly that it might be exactly what you think it is. Okay, so a little inquiry, a little digging up, but you might not like what you find. All right, I just see that there is a lot of sadness where um, love is concerned, or where, like, just a very important relationship is concerned, right? But good news is, with the Knight of Wands coming in, okay, as your waxing energy, it's that they're basically saying keep fighting the good fight, keep persevering, because um don't let someone, like, mess with your value and mess with how you feel about yourself and your capabilities and your talents and your worth. Fight for who you are and maintain that and push forward. Okay. For some of you, I'm getting the vibe that this is a strong fire sign energy. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius could be involved in the situation. For some of you, I see that also you could be the one that's caught between two people. You don't know if to make a choice. For those of you that are going through that right now, one of them is very dependable, very handsome, well built, elegant. The person is just classy. Like, I just get this classy vibe. Like, that's why you're attracted to them. They command a lot of attention and respect from people, and they just have a kind of regalness about them that makes you feel like, wow, like, I want to be your partner, because you just look so good at the things that you do, the way that you do them. And then I feel like there's another person who you could be involved with, and this person is a little more rugged. They're a little more, they don't have as much tact as the other person. They're a lot more boisterous and outgoing, but you like that about them, because for some reason when they're with you, they have a way tamer side than what they are known for, what they're infamous for in their community or in their social groups. I feel like you get to see a side of them that you really are not accustomed seeing when they're interacting with other people, and that attracts you to them, right? So for some of you, so if that resonates with you, then for sure this reading is definitely for you. If not, I'm getting the idea that somebody is being betrayed, or you're going to find out some very hurtful information very soon from someone that you care about. It could be a relationship, or it could be just an important relationship in your life. It could be a romantic relationship or an important relationship, right? But with the Knight of Wands, they're telling you to keep trekking on. Like, I feel like you were really devastated, or you're about to be super devastated by something that you find out, but this is saying keep your head up. Do not sink. Do not resort to any kind of dirty tactics. Do not resort to payback. Don't resort to revenge. Keep your head up and just keep charging forward. Like, I feel like with the Knight of Wands, it lets me know that the pain is going to be very short-lived. Like, you're going to feel it. It's gonna hurt. Like, it's gonna hurt like a burning fire at first, but it will be outed very quickly. All that will be left to do is just clean up the mess and start over, and with the strength card coming in as your full moon energy, what is the highest possible outcome? It just lets me know that you get through the situation with a grace, with style, and you really come out on top of the situation. I feel that some of you are at risk of getting into a physical altercation because of the situation. I see that this pile in particular could be very hot-headed, or could be very, very just aggressive when they're backed up against a wall or when they feel like they've been hurt. So just a warning for those of you, it would not be in your best interest to involve yourself in any kind of physical altercation. The best thing to do is to kind of sit back and to just live in your grace and your honor, and to not engage with people who are trying to hurt you, right? So there's definitely this vibe that there's like a kind of enemy lurking around. It could be the person that you lay in bed with, or it could literally just be somebody who is in the same social group as you. Like, I just get the vibe that there's a competitive person here as well. So by the time of the full moon, you are going to be not obviously not over the situation, because it seems like it's something that's going to be very, very, very hurtful, but you are going to be able to break through it in such a way that people are going to be inspired by you. Like, they're not going to believe like, wow, you bounce back from that so quick, so easy. And I think for some of you, like, who might have been played, like, this person is going to be watching like, wow, how did they get over me so quick? If they were like so in love, like I broke their heart, but they over me already. You just gonna be like, I'm not bothered. I don't care, and that's gonna be great for you. I think by the time once you reach that space where you are unbothered and you're not taking things to heart as much, then you have to kind of work on your temperance, right? So there's a I don't want to say a warning, but there is definitely some kind of, the cards are pointing towards you having like issues with your emotions, handling your emotions, and I feel like sometimes you get physical. With the Temperance card, I feel like you need to learn to kind of find a way to have your emotions coexist with each other without feeling so conflicted and wanting to act on it in the real world. I feel like you're a type of person, and because in the beginning I was saying that this you seem like a very pure person, right? But I see that there's a dual nature to you. So you could be a mutable sign, you could be like, I'm getting Pisces, Sagittarius, or Gemini, or like one of those dual signs like Capricorn, that emulate two aspects, not just one. So I feel like you're a type of person that would say like, there's two sides to me. Like, you could get the good side or the bad side. Like, like somebody who like you could flip real quick. Like, that's the energy that I'm getting from your reading. And that's who you are, and that something is about to happen. You're about to get some information. Somebody's about to hurt you in a way that's going to bring out that dark side of you, and you need to have control of that. This new moon in Virgo, for this Virgo cycle, there needs to be some control with your emotions, because if you're not careful, you're going to get into a really sticky situation. Especially with Judgment coming up at the end, it could literally lead to like a case, or like just getting a bad rep or something like that if you act out on the situation. But with the Temperance, I really like, this is the card that I'm drawn to the most in the reading, and I feel like it's because this is going to teach you how to really become in tune with your emotions. Like, you see, there's the dragon and there's a phoenix. So you need to learn that the softer side of you is not weak. It has its own strengths and you could use it more. Like, the fiery side of you is gonna get you places, yes. It might even get you the results that you're looking for in terms of how you're dealing with people and like the outcomes of situations. But you're going to learn so much more from bringing that softer side of yourself when you are faced with traumatic experiences, or when you're faced with aggressive situations, or when you're faced with things that just irritate you and make you feel to trip off. If you engage that softer side of yourself that allows you to feel your emotions, that allows you to open up to people in a positive manner, then you're not going to get the kind of blowout that you're accustomed to getting. Because I'm prepping you, like, this is happening. You There's something that you're gonna get to hear that you're not gonna like, and you might want to stop somebody, you might want to do something to somebody. And I'm just here, your lovely little messenger, like, don't do it. Don't give in to the negativity, and don't do anything that's just gonna put you in a bad spot. Like, I definitely feel like you are going to, if you step away from the situation and you really internalize your feelings, quietly, or with a friend that you trust, there's going to be a lot more healing than doing something aggressive. Okay, and if you're not that type of person at all, then maybe this reading isn't for you. You should pick another pile, because I want to talk about other things, but like, my mind, my guys, they're just telling me to talk about your emotional attitude, like how you deal with things emotionally, and let you know that that sometimes is a big blockage in your life. Like, you don't allow yourself to feel the highs and the lows. You only want the highs, and when you get low, you get dirty. Like, you do some bad things when you're on a low level. So there needs to be some temperance, some balancing out of that, and stepping into a higher version of yourself. Because I feel like a lot of you, maybe this pal in particular, seems kind of childish, and that's why I think, like, the reading doesn't like stress on heart. Like, it's not like, oh, like, poor you, you're going through like an emotional thing, and like you're just devastated. It's more like, okay, a situation happened, but it feels like you've been here before, that you've dealt with stuff like this before, and you have already been telling yourself, you know what, the next time this happens, I'm going to be better. I'm not going to let this get to me as much. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm just going to relax, sort out my emotions, and move on from the situation. I feel like it's something that you have already been coaching yourself about how to handle emotionally, but the test is coming again, and you really need to be careful about how you act about the situation, right? That's just like the main thing that I'm getting, that is like screaming out to me right now. So I'm going to give you your advice from the fairy oracle. Let's see what they have to say. Right, so solitude wanted to pop out. That came out for group 2 as well, but I'm not taking it. But yeah, some solitude, you might have to be by yourself for a bit, and not engage in things or with people that are just trying to provoke a response out of you. Right, so let's see what advice they have for my lovely pile number 3. There's ask for help. Okay, and there's go outside. Okay, all right, so what this tells me, what this does for me, is it gives me a little more insight into what this relationship with this person is like, or whoever this bad information or this like saddening information is going to come from. It lets me know that it's the type of person that often makes you feel alienated. They often try to remind you constantly that you don't have friends, that you don't have people that care for you, and they often make you feel like you're alone in the situation. So whichever aspect you're coming at this from, like if you are the side piece, they try to let you know, well, you're gonna have to take this. You're gonna have to continue having this relationship, because, well, who else you're gonna go to, like, there's nobody better than me. Or like, if you are the one being cheated on, they're gonna like try to tell you things like that, like, like, you're not gonna do better than me. Like, they're gonna try, I feel like this person is really gonna try to make you like not beat you. I don't mean beat you as in beat you, but like beat you into submission in terms of accepting their infidelity or like whatever toxic thing that they're doing to you, right? They're going to try to make you feel like you have to take it, and you don't have to take it. Ask for help. I feel like reaching out to your friends, reaching out to people who will remind you of your worth is going to help you to get out of the situation and to move on. And for some of you as well, you may be suffering with like substance abuse. So if this negative information takes you off the deep end and you go back into like bad habits or like obsessive compulsive tendencies or addictive tendencies, definitely then it's a clear sign that you need to reach out to somebody, because you don't want to be triggered and like on the edge and nobody knows that you need the help, right? With the go outside as well, like I definitely feel that the heartbreak or the sad news that comes from whoever it comes from is someone that you're kind of like attached to the hip to. So it could even be a best friend, it could be somebody that you know there's a codependency where you'll just rely on each other for emotional support, and it kind of stifles your growth. I feel like you are the one that's more capable of expanding and meeting new people and growing in life, and they are afraid of change, so they kind of try to keep you to themselves or keep you like boxed in, or they try to make you feel like you have no other options. And if they come around you with that shit this rounds, I'm telling you, just step away from the situation. Step away from the situation, go outside, clear your mind. Don't let people get to you. You have life energy as your bottom deck energy, and I feel like what it's saying is that this person kind of sucks the life out of you. So if I said that and somebody comes to mind immediately, it's most likely that person. This person sucks the life out of you, and you need to get that back. And I feel like as well that this is something that needs to die, or that it needs to end, so that something even better could come into your life. So let's see what your guides are saying, what advice they want to give to pile number 3. Advice for pile number 3, please. Angels, thank you for your support. Ooh, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so gassy. I'm real gassy. Like I've been gassy all week. I don't know what's going on, but I just can't stop burping and other things. TMI. I don't know. Alright, so we have honesty and communication coming in. So for those of you who are two-timing two other lovely people, time for some honesty and communication. And then again, also it confirms that there's going to be some very revealing information that comes for you this new moon in Virgo season. And the thing is, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? But when Mercury is in Virgo, it's about analyzing and criticizing a situation. So I feel that the mercurial energy, that how it's going to play out in your life this lunar cycle, is going to ask you, doesn't something seem off? Analyze the situation, assess the situation. It's not as beneficial as you think it is. So for those of you that are two-timing, you might think you're getting the best of both worlds, but it's time to be more critical about who you're letting into your space and who you are sharing your heart with, because is it worth it to have two partners? Some people are into polyamory and stuff like that, but if you are having two partners and they don't know about each other, it's not polyamory, it's cheating. Right? So there needs to be some honesty and communication between you and somebody that's important in your life, right? And if you have been doing wrong to people romantically, it might be time to just come out and say it. Like, ask for help, go outside. I do feel like maybe some of you suffer with a sex addiction, or maybe you just suffer with like anxious attachment style love, like those love styles, anxious attachment, or maybe like avoidance. Like, I don't know all of them, but there might be something in there that you could look into to find out why you do the things that you do. And some of you might be people that like play with people's emotions a lot, manipulate a lot. With the Knight of Wands, I get the idea that you could be kind of like suave, kind of like you seem like this Prince Charming, Princess Charming kind of vibe, but you do tend to bring heartache wherever you go. So I feel like I'm definitely talking to two different groups. One group where it's like you're a heartbreaker, and this Virgo lunar cycle is going to try to wake you up to realize that there are other ways that you can connect with people that don't involve manipulating and hurting them, but you can actually like bring people up, like raise their vibration with the life energy. It's very possible that the reason why you're always so attracted to a bunch of people is because you are here naturally to raise the vibration of everything that's around you. And I think that by always resorting to sex, like using sex or using like emotional manipulation to feel a connection, it's kind of like muddying that ability that you have, so it might physically in your physical self, it might register as that you're always horny, like you always need to be stimulated by people, when in reality what is coming from a higher place is that you have a gift of bringing light and joy into people's lives, and you want to spread that as much as possible. So for some of you with the ask for help and you go outside, it might be that if you find your relationships are struggling or they're failing, it could be that you need to seek therapy, because you need to understand why you are exhibiting self-sabotaging behaviors, while you're exhibiting avoidant attachment behaviors or anxious attachment behaviors. All of this could be part of it. And then for those of you the other side of that might be getting played or might be finding out some very harsh information soon, I see that having a support system and just being honest and open about what you're going through is going to be a big help for you guys, right? And then we also have spiritual growth. Yeah, with the strength card, it's very, very similar energies. With the strength card, it feels like you are about to level up into this new understanding of who you are and your strengths and how you can make that work for you in the best way possible. And then we also have strength and guidance. So we have strength coming up again, right? Strength and guidance. I feel like definitely, I think that maybe some of you are afraid to lose somebody. We have joy and contentment as the bottom deck energy, yeah. So, and that's the thing, like the bottom deck energy is really light and motivational. So it says that, there's already, the seed has already been planted. There's already joy that's promised you and a happiness that's promised you. You just have to first get past this initial heartbreak or this initial kind of like thing that throws you off and kind of like maybe gets you spiraling again, because I do see that some of you don't handle negativity well, or like you don't when things don't work out for you, you don't handle it well, and it kind of causes you to kind of binge into certain habits that don't work for you anymore. So I see that it's just a matter of getting past this initial discomfort, and then things start to kind of blossom in a way that is really beautiful for you. Right, so pile number 3, your final card. What is the overall energy for you this lunar cycle? Pile number 3. What is your overall energy for this lunar cycle? I feel like I'm gonna watch back these videos and I was gonna see it have so much like incomplete thoughts, like things I started talking about and then I didn't finish talking about it. I just hoping that's not the case. I hope I'm as clear and concise as possible for you guys, and that all my thoughts are cohesive and they work together and you understand where I'm coming from, right? So we have, guys, we got this for pile number 2 as well. We have compassion coming in, right? I think this is a promise to you for those of you that are going to be experiencing getting your heart broken, or you already have experienced getting your heart broken. It's a promise that things are gonna get better and you're gonna meet a lot more compassionate people that are not gonna play games with you. So just be prepared for that and be excited about that. And for those of you that are on the other side where you're the 1-2 timing, I think that they're saying be compassionate and understand that your actions have consequences, and you need to let people live and breathe and live in truth, not have them like hiding up in these kind of situations that just builds up resentment and negative karma, right? So the bottom deck energy is divine feminine, right? And I think that's the case. Like I definitely do feel that there is a in within someone in the situation has a very divine energy, in the sense that they could be using it for so much more, but they're choosing to use it for pleasing other people. um I Not pleasing other people, but they use it, sorry, for um gratification from others. They use it because they want people to tell them how much they love them, how much they need them, and how much of a good impact they have in their life. Like they need to be like this. Somebody in the situation loves to be buttered up. They love to be flattered, and they love to know that they have an impact in people's lives. But they go about it in the weirdest ways. That could kind of seem like manipulation or lying to other people. And I think that what is happening is that this person just doesn't understand their true potential, and the energy that they have misunderstood it and are using it for other things. So, and it could even be for those of you who are going to find out something hurtful. It might be that you have been giving a lot of energy to this one person or to a situation, and you're not getting to use your full potential because this person is not capable of meeting you at that level. Right, with the divine feminine we talk about being receptive and being open, and I feel like if you have been in this place where you're like, I have been trying to receive, I have been trying to be open, and this person is giving me nothing, then it's a clear sign that this is not the situation that you want to be in. Right, you want compassion, you want love, you want care, right, and you want honesty, and you want joy. I see that. Okay, but it's about being with the right people or just making the right choices, choosing to be honest, to be open, and choosing to not let your emotions get the best of you. And with the Knight of Pentacles, again, there's just a little, if your love life is failing you, focus on the coin, like focus on getting some money. That might change things around for you a lot. Right, guys? But I hope you enjoyed this reading. I feel like for some reason this pile felt very hectic. Like the energy was all over the place. I was getting so many different things, like different scenarios. So I feel like this might be the pile that most people pick because there's just so many messages hidden in this one reading. But as a recap, I guess, watch your emotional outbursts. Be prepared for a little heartache. Time to be honest and open. And for some of you, your attachment to people on a romantic level is actually uh, you wanting to connect on a much more spiritual, maybe even universal level, and you haven't tapped into that yet, and it comes out as you needing some kind of like romantic support, some kind of romantic partner. But you could give and get that same energy that you think your relationship is giving you when you just be yourself and like just share it with whoever you come across, in a platonic way. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, guys. See you next new moon. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. You chose the stone that I can't remember the name of, but is actually my favorite stone in the world. I think it's blood moonstone, like moonstone or bloodstone. Is either moonstone or bloodstone. It's the one that's made with copper. Yeah, so you choose this stone. If you chose this stone, you are pile number 4, and we're going to get into your new moon in Virgo reading, which will basically let you know what is coming in this human cycle, how it's starting off, how you can use that to the best of your advantage, what will be the highest possible outcome if you follow that path, and what you will need to let go in order to advance when the next cycle comes around. Right, so we're calling out to your guides, pile number 4. We're calling out to your guides, just your ancestors and your angels, to find out what is coming for you in this lunar cycle. So thank you, angels and guides, for your information. Thank you for your messages. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so pile number 4, group number 4. First energy coming in is the Hanged Man. Right, so you have the Hanged Man coming in as your new moon energy. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. Full moon energy is the King of Swords. Winning energy is the Two of Swords. And final energy before the new moon is the King of Wands. Okay. Alright. So I'm getting a real masculine energy. Bottom deck energy is the Eight of Swords. Wow, okay. So again, a very masculine vibe from this reading. It might be that more men are viewing this one, or that you would identify as a very masculine person. Whether you're a man or a woman, you do know that you have very masculine traits, and you probably take pride in that you're very logical, you're very ambitious, you're very forward moving, you don't really dwell in your feelings too much. Like, if that sounds like you, then this pile is definitely for you, because I do get a very strong presence from this group, right? But unfortunately, not unfortunately, but despite that being who you might be, the Hangman coming in as the first energy starting off the lunar cycle suggests that there is a little trouble in paradise in terms of some plans that you've been working on. So for some of you, there might be some waiting. Or there might just be some kind of like sadness about something not working out, especially with the Five of Pentacles popping up as well, right? So I see that even though you have a very go-getter personality, that for some reason you've kind of been stagnant for a little while. And I think this new moon is going to make you super conscious of how stagnant you have been. And I'm going to urge you not to be too hard on yourself, but it's definitely going to impact you in a very strong way. That's going to kind of come across as depression with the Eight of Swords as your bottom deck energy. You're going to feel very trapped, like you can't find a way out, and you feel like nothing has been really working for you. Right, with the Hammer energy, there could be a sense of like being like having a lot of pity for yourself. Woe is me, nothing ever works, nothing is ever good in my life, like, you know. And it might not be that that's who you are, because I'm getting a strong energy from the reading, but it might just be that that's where you're at right now, that you're very much kind of like, you know, saddened about something and kind of not trusting yourself and your capabilities anymore because of the situation, right? And that's a bit unfortunate. If you want to get past that though, if you want to get past the anxiety of being stagnant and not moving forward, the Five of Pentacles in this deck suggests to me that all you have to do is look up. For some of you, that might be quite literally just look up. You might need to sun gaze, or you just might need to, like, maybe there's something upstairs that's hidden or that you packed away that you forgot about that's going to be important for the situation. But for some of you, quite literally, you just need to look up. And then for others of you, when I say look up, it means you just need to have faith. I see that you come from a wealthy background, or it could be that like you are accustomed to always having things work out for you financially. You're not accustomed to this down period that you're currently experiencing, and it's kind of having you like in a very toxic mindset, because with the pandemic some of us are not working. So it could be that, you know, like you used to have a very, very good job. It was doing a lot for you, and because of the pandemic you lost that job, you know. Or just because of the pandemic, a lot of opportunities are gone now. Like, you're just not making as much money as you used to. So I get this sense of like almost like entitlement, like you're just accustomed to things being very easy financially, and right now this period of like taking all these L's back to back is kind of messing with your mental a little bit. But with the Five of Pentacles, it's just about having faith, because I feel like you almost feel like your God has forsaken you, or that, you know, like everything is just against you in that kind of way. And I get that too with the Hangman, like there's just this pity, like, oh God, like, you know, I'm a victim, like the society is doing this to me, the system is doing this to me, the government is doing this to me, my mom is doing this to me, my dad is doing this to me. Like, I just get a vibe that you kind of like, you are blaming the entire system for your downfalls right now. And Spirit wants you to know that it's not that serious. it's going to seem, you know, painful for now, but there's so much goodness coming afterwards. Like in the Ace of Swords as your bottom deck energy, you'll notice that there's like a hummingbird right above your swan. And I think again, like there's this idea that there's just something right above you. There's something right above you that is urging you and letting you know, hey, like things could be better there. Like the fact that it's just like these small animals, like in the Five of Pentacles, it's a butterfly, and in the Eight of Swords, it's a hummingbird. There's a small blessing that's right in front of your face that would make you feel 10 times better if you would just open your eyes and appreciate it. And I think that too, what it says too is that the changes that you're going to be experiencing this lunar cycle are going to be small changes but important changes. So it's not going to be big, like you're not going to win okay, maybe I should, let me not say you're not going to win $1 million, but maybe you won't win $1 million. Maybe you won't get that $10,000 paying job, like it might come like the big breakthrough that you always thought you needed, but the blessings are gonna come in like small bits, but you're gonna realize that these small blessings are gonna bring significant change into your life. With the butterfly especially, like just looking up and having a better, brighter attitude is going to bring a lot of transformation into your life. And especially with the hummingbird as well, like I feel like even though your past situation might have been more financially stable or might have just been better in terms of like your material success, it could have been very burdensome to you, or it could have just been, you could have been involved in something that was very messy, or it wasn't really contributing to like positively to the environment or to the world. I get the idea also with the hangman, with that Pisces energy, is that maybe you are meant to be more of kind of like a world savior kind of person. Not to say literally like world savior, like die for people and stuff like that, but it might just be that you are meant to be in a business or in a group of people in a situation that is more conducive to benefiting the environment or benefiting your society or your community, and what you were doing before doesn't really nourish your spirit and your soul. It might have just been about money, or it might have just been about like turning over a profit, and it could just be that maybe it's time for you to have a more conscious occupation. And I see that with the King of Swords coming in as the full moon energy, the height of the cycle. I just feel like he literally looks like he's thinking, like he's on his throne, he's in this high position, and he doesn't have a bunch of advisors telling him what to do. He is sitting down and thinking consciously about the steps that he's going to take. So I feel like before, however you were getting your money, or however whatever was causing so much abundance and like like confidence in your life, it might have been something that was not necessarily for the highest good of all. It probably probably gave you security on like a lower level nature, but on a higher level it wasn't really doing much for you. So that's why you had to have been separated from that situation. So I'm seeing that you might not get any big breaks like what you had previously, but these very, very minute changes are going to have a big impact, and it's going to come when you learn to stop sulking around and just to be thankful that you do have. Because I feel like, yeah, this project hasn't been working out for you, or this thing hasn't been working out for you, but I feel like you have more than most. I feel like you have a lot more than most people can say they have right now in this time. It doesn't like take away from your struggle or whatever, but I feel like there's still a lot that you have and a lot that you could use to advance yourself, right, towards something that's probably more fulfilling and more enriching in your life, right? When the full moon comes around, by that time, once you look up and start to look for the blessings and look for the abundance and be grateful for what you do have, you get into this King of Swords energy when it's like, hey, wait now, I have a real thing. I could do real thing with this. And I feel like you're going to be very contemplative for this lunar cycle. And I feel like this group especially, for the King of Swords being your like highest card, I feel like you are going to really embody the Virgo energy maybe more than any of the other piles. You are going to realize, like know an efficient way to do this. I know a productive way to do this. I know a way to do this that ensures that everybody could get a cut, and I know a way to do this that is not going to destroy the environment in the long run. It's going to help to add more to the environment, and I might not just be talking about like agricultural pollution wise. I mean like just to your environment, something that might be taken from your environment, you're going to find something else that's going to add to it now, right? With the King of Swords, so I just see you really stepping into boss mode. Like you were kind of down and out for a while, but now you're gonna come back and you're gonna know exactly the path that you need to take and what you need to do to get to where you're going. Right, I see with the Two of Swords coming in as your waning energy, what you will need to release is a sense of like indecisiveness, or hold on, let me process it, because I don't think I was really watching the cards, so I just feel like I'm talking for talking sake. With the Two of Swords coming in, I see that what you need to let go is the Hangman energy, because I don't know, this feels like this card is the bottom of this card in a kind of way. You get what I'm saying? Like the tree that this person is standing up around, it feels like that's the base of this tree that this person is hanging up on, and it's like this person has to cut down this tree in a kind of way. So it's like whatever you are missing or you're lamenting about losing was actually kind of keeping you in a stagnant place, and I feel like with this tree looking like it's kind of dying, it's like you got a lot from the situation, you did, but now it's kind of dried up. And I feel like your guides, when you see with the little sprites and stuff, your guides are trying to tell you time to get down from this tree. And if by the time the full moon comes around, when you really step into yourself, you really get ready to cut down this tree. And I feel like the tree could definitely be a metaphor for like enabling practices or enabling people. So if you had people that always gave you money or always made things super easy for you, and that's why you're frustrated because you're not really getting that same help as before, it might be time that it's time for you to cut down those sources, because you need to learn to be a little more self-made with the King of Swords and the King of Wands. It might be that it's time for you to learn just to not look for the easy way out for everything, or always like to always have as soon as you want it. You might have to learn to work a little bit more, or to think a little bit more critically to achieve what you want to achieve. And what this will do, the Two of Swords being a mental suit, it is going to sharpen your mind. I feel like you have been asleep in a kind of way, because you've been living in abundance, living in the kind of paradise, and the heart is giving me an apple vibe. So I want to say like you eat the apple and you get to realize that that there's big pieces missing. Like you've kind of been in this state, but at what cost? But like you've been in this state, but like how did you get there? Like that kind of thing. Like you kind of wake up and you realize, how have I gotten to this point where I'm so entitled that when things go wrong I self-destruct, and I can't find a way to fix my own situation. Like how did it even reach to that point where I can't even come up with a creative solution to my problems? And I feel like you just really kind of like stop pampering yourself, and stop allowing people and groups to enable you, and you decide, I'm going to do things my way now. I'm going to think about a way out of the situation, and I'm going to come out on top successful. And that's incredible. With the King of Wands energy, it says by the time of the new lunar cycle, you should definitely be back on your feet. Thank God, you're going to be back on your feet by the time of the new lunar cycle, once you are able to get rid of this like entitlement. I feel like the King of Wands, to me, out of all these suits, is the most childish king. Like he's just like the kind of king that was never ready to take the throne, but he was given it because he came from royalty, and like somebody died early, inheritance, or like somebody wasn't fit, so they just give this king all the resources, and he doesn't really cherish it because it was never his dream of like, you know, being responsible for other people, or to work hard, or like to like have to care for so many people. Like, you know, this person, you could have been really self-absorbed, you know, a few months ago, and it's only because you know that you're down to this level, you kind of have to actually learn empathy, patience, kindness, trust, you know. And I feel like you are definitely going to become this more mature king, the king of swords. You're not going to be the king of wands anymore, the king who's unprepared, who kind of just goes with the flow, who kind of just like, if he does something good, it's luck, you know, or like, you know, if he does something bad, it's like, you know, he have people to cover it up and like, you know, like make everything neat and not look as bad as it was. Like, you don't have that PR team anymore, you don't have that public relations group. Like, I feel like, you know, you could have been a very influential person, and they had a lot of people who could influence other people's thoughts about you. And this time around, you're like, no, you know what? I'm going to let my actions speak for themselves. I'm going to stand on my own 2 feet and let my actions speak for themselves. And I'm proud of you. This is a lot of growth happening for you in this Virgo season. I think that's really, really amazing. But yeah, like the King of Wands, that kind of like you're not ready um, for the responsibility. That's not gonna be you by the end of the Virgo, this lunar cycle. You know, I just find like the King of Wands to just give like a real bratty energy, like, you know, like just like that kind of like star boy that just happened to fall into like the kingship. You know, they didn't take it seriously when they were growing up. Their other siblings wanted it more, and they just happen to be next in line, so they get all the resources, all the wealth, and they just don't appreciate it, you know, and they kind of maybe even lord it over other people. So I feel like now is like you're going to learn what it means to have these resources, what it means to carry the family name, what it means to really have to step up and be there for other people, you know. And I feel like this reading has been different from the other 3 piles, because the other 3 piles were very similar in like the general undertone, which was like, you know, you have to choose yourself, you have to choose yourself. But like this one is more saying like you yourself is what's getting in the way, and you know, like you need to just mature if you want things to go how you want them to go. Right, so for your advice from the fairy oracle, we have transformation. What did I just say? What did I just say? Yeah, transformation. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the changes aren't going to be like drastic. Like, oh my god, like today your hair was black, now your hair is blue. Yesterday your hair was black, now your hair is blue. Like, not like that. Like, you know, it's gonna be like just little things, subtle things that are going to snowball into some kind of big change for you by the end of this um lunar cycle. And then we also have solitude for you as well. Group number 2 got this card as well. I don't know if you wanted to check that one out, but again, it talks about standing on your own 2 feet. Like, I feel like you've been pampered a lot, group number 4, and I'm not judging you. I'm not like, you know, trying to be negative about you just naturally being blessed with abundance. But if you do find yourself in a rut, like in a low period, it's because it's time for you to step up and try to create your own sources of abundance in your own life, you know, rather than waiting on what has always been given to you before. Right, we have fairy spotting as the bottom deck energy, and I think that it again speaks to the hummingbird and the butterfly and the little sprites on the tree, is that there are a lot of little spirit energies around you trying to tell you like, cheer up, like toughen up, you know. They're giving you little messages like toughen up, you know. And like, I think that this this lunar cycle is going to be a big breakthrough for you, because you're going to start off feeling very, very depressed, like, wow, I have not accomplished anything, like what's been going on, like I can't catch a break. And then it's going to evolve into, you got this, you got this, you got this, you're successful, you're gonna be great, you got this. Like, it's going to just transform into a natural confidence again when you see your ability to create in your own life, you know. So let's see what's coming in from the angels. Angels, thank you for your guidance. What messages do the angels have for pile number 4? Messages for pile number 4. Let's see. Okay, so we have expect miracles. Yes, and this is one of my favorite cards too. Expect miracles. Like, it's okay. So I feel like in a way that's kind of like spirit telling me to temper my message. I'm not trying to make you believe that you won't get help ever and you only have to do it on your own. But it's just like it's time to mature in terms of how you go about living your life, and the type of it's not just time to mature, right? Time to mature and time to be active in your life. But with the expect miracles, it's not gonna be taken away from you forever. You just need to learn to stand on your own 2 feet for a bit. And once you show that you can think critically and make sound choices, which is the King of Swords, those miracles are going to come into your life. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm gassy. Guys, hello. Transformation. I don't know, I didn't sing for the other pile, so the fact that I'm singing for this pile must mean that I'm really feeling the energy. Like, I'm feeling like I need money with this one. I think, like, the fact, okay, so you get transformation from 2 decks, right? They're both saying transformation. Beautiful decks, you know? And, like, self-explanatory, yeah. Big change coming in, and it has a lot to do with your maturity and your ability to handle situations when things get tough, right? And then we have romance and connection. That kind of just fall in there. Like, I wasn't getting nothing. Like, right now I'm not even seeing anything that suggests that anything that happens in this lunar cycle will really be impacted by anybody else. But the romance and connection definitely suggests that you have a little boo thing coming in. I'm just gonna have it as a side note. It doesn't, personally, it's not resonating with the rest of the reading, but there's a little side note. Some love could be coming in. We have to take a step back. And I feel like that's what you have been doing as the bottom deck energy. So I feel like that's what you have been doing. You took a step back because things just was not working out. It was all over the place. And you recalculated. And for some reason, this take a step back really reminds me of the Magician from Tarot. So I feel like it's kind of like you recalculated, you know, you work things out, and then you're going back at it again to see if you get another outcome. Because we know the Magician is connected to alchemy. And alchemy is experimentation, you know, it's like scientific experimentation to create something new out of 2 other things or more things or whatever like that. So it's like, okay, I get everything in order. Now let me see what I could turn this into, right? And let's get a final card for pile number 4. Final card for pile number 4, please. Final card for pile number 4. Okay. And we have solar plexus chakra. Look at that beautiful radiant energy. I agree. It's about your ability to step up. It's about your ability to activate. What are you going to do when no one around you wants to help or can help? Because it might be that people don't care about you, but they're just not in the financial capacity to help you in the situation. So it's like, what are you gonna do when there's no one around to help? Things aren't coming as easy as you're accustomed to. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay in this 8 of Swords energy and the Hangman energy, making excuses, crying, saying, everything happened to me? Or are you going to activate and really utilize that solar plexus energy and create something for yourself? Right? We have Gaia as the bottom deck energy. Okay? And I think it's very similar to kind of like abundance, this Gaia card. It just lets you know that the world is yours. And I think that I'm not getting this connection with that and the Two of Swords. How I said that this reminds me of like the apple and the tree. I feel like um, whereas that story was like, oh well, you could do everything except this. Like Gaia has given me the idea that the world is yours. Like, you know, everything is here for you to utilize. And you can't wait on other people to do it for you. With the King of Swords, like you need to have the ingenuity and you need to have the critical thinking to be able to see how a tree can turn into paper, how sheep's wool could turn into clothes, like like utilize the resources of the earth and in an environmentally friendly way. And I think that's why Gaia came up as well, because I did say earlier that it could be that you were part of something that was not environmentally friendly, or was not just it was just was not conducive to like a better, more harmonious environment. And this time around, you need to consider what you're doing and how that impacts the environment. And I could be talking on like a global climate scale, or I could just mean that how are you impacting your environment, meaning like just the space around you, like is what you're doing affecting others negatively. You need to tap into the Gaia energy, where everything you do is going to be multiplied tenfold so that everyone around you can enjoy it. Okay, guys, so that's the message that I have for you all. I hope it was clear and concise. I tried my best. Right? And I will see you around next new moon.